Hello and welcome to Women Over 40 Losing Weight. I'm Dr. Kisha Pickford, a nurse practitioner and holistic nutrition weight loss coach. And this podcast is for women in their 40s, 50s, and beyond who are tired of dieting, tired of starting over, and ready for a more sustainable approach to weight loss that actually works with their bodies. If that sounds like you, you're in the right place. And once again, I'm joined by my co host, Coach Jay, our resident movement specialist, and the one who helps keep these conversations grounded and practical. How are you doing today, Jay?
I'm doing great. Excited to dive into this because I know this is where things start feeling achievable. Let's help everyone simplify today.
Okay, that sounds great. Simplification. I really like that word. Because keeping things simple, especially at a certain age, it makes life a lot easier.
Absolutely. And today we'll get into exactly how to make that first step simple. I'm ready when you are.
Okay. In the last couple of episodes, we talked about motivation and why it isn't the real problem and what happens when motivation fades after the new year starts. So, today in this episode, I want to answer the question I know a lot of women are asking themselves right now. Okay, so if motivation, Coach Keisha, isn't enough, what should I actually be doing? What is my next step? And, we want to answer this in the simplest way that we can. And, the answer, surprisingly, is simpler than what most people are expecting.
So, where do you think most women tend to go wrong at this point when that motivation starts fading?
That's great. That's great. A good question. They try to fix things all at once. And I say they, I'm part of this crew too. We just try to do it all at once. When we start on a journey, especially a weight loss or a health journey, we try to do it all together. We put the food, we do the exercise, we manage, try to get our sleep in order, we try to manage stress, we add in the supplements, and then we try to get our schedules together. And, all of this compounded, put into one journey at the very beginning of our journey, it can be overwhelming, and it can become overwhelming very quickly, especially after 40. It can get very chaotic, and our bodies at this time, at this stage, it doesn't really respond to chaos like it used to. And recovery is all off when we put chaos and commotion everything is just moving too fast.
So, here's the key point: you don't need a whole complicated plan, you just need one solid system to start, something simple and foundational.
Yes, something simple, foundational. And here's what I want women to hear clearly today. You do not need the full plan right now. You just need one system to get you started, one anchor, one foundation, one thing you can rely on, even if it's your worst or stressful day.
So, what would you say that one first system should be for someone listening?
Another great question, Jay. The first system every woman over 40 should build is a simple daily anchor habit, something tied to nourishment or movement, which is your specialty, that happens almost automatically. Don't even have to think about it. Not a full meal plan, not a strict workout schedule, just one repeatable behavior put on automatic that you just don't have to even think about it. Because after 40, your body craves predictability. It needs stability. It needs that stable blood sugar, that muscle protection, lower stress response. It needs a better sleep signaling. And when you give your body all of this, one consistent signal every day, it starts to trust the process again and it starts to respond in a positive, transformative way.
Can you give us a few examples so listeners can picture what a simple system like that looks like in real life?
Absolutely. Yes, here are a few examples that I often recommend to my clients, and I often do myself. Eating protein for your very first meal. This is an anchor, a very good anchor to put into your life. Drinking full glass of water before you have your coffee, before you have your juice, before you have that other thing that you like first thing in the morning or before any other meal. A full glass of water. Taking 10-minute movement breaks after a meal, dinner, lunch. Just get moving at least 10 minutes after you have that meal. And that will definitely set a good anchor, set a foundation for weight loss. Having the same simple breakfast on most days of the week. You keep it simple, keep it similar, and you'll begin to do it. And then it'll become automatic because you know what you're going to do, especially on those rush hour moments or rush hour mornings. Have what you already know, what you're going to do, have it in place. And notice if you notice that none of these require motivation, these are simple, repeatable, and realistic anchors or realistic systems that you can have in place already ready to go.
I love that. And you've probably seen this play out with clients, right? Maybe share a quick story of how this worked.
Yes, I have. I have put this in play with several clients, and like I say, including myself. I've had clients who didn't lose weight right away, but once the first system was in place, everything else became easier. Energy improved, cravings calmed down, confidence returned, and then putting the system in place. Of course, it was specific to the person and what their lifestyle was going at that time. And once they did, everything became easier. And then we began to build from there and add on until we had a full foundation, a full regimen or routine in place for weight management, improve health, and weight loss. And, research supports this too. Studies published through organizations like the National Institutes of Health show that behavior based routines are far more predictive of long term weight maintenance than willpower or motivation ever could be. Consistency beats intensity, especially after 40.
So, in other words, instead of pushing harder, the goal is to simplify first.
Most definitely. The goal is simplification. And remember, I said I like that word. Keep it simple. Everybody says that all the time. It's the KISS acronym. I don't like the last part of that KISS acronym, but keep it simple, simple. I don't want to say the other part because I don't like that word. But yeah, just keep it simple. Push harder is out the door. We want to keep it simple.
Exactly. And that's why your fresh start approach is so effective. It begins with foundations, not extremes. So, we aren't depending on motivation, we're depending on systems.
Exactly. This is why the Fresh Start approach begins with foundations. Before we talk about big changes, we stabilize the basics in the program. We start with food freedom, then we go for habits, our environment we realize needs to change, and then we focus on whole health support because we're whole people, whole women, and we need to make sure that we're covering all the areas of our life or our lifestyles. And we're not asking, motivation to do all the work. And that's why motivation is not needed a lot of time during your health or weight loss journey. We're building systems that work when motivation fades and systems that you can have in place when things get chaotic, things get stressful. You already know what to do in that part or portion of your life.
I love that. So, for anyone listening, here's a challenge. Pick one small habit this week. Do it every day for 7 to 14 days. No pressure, just that one thing.
Correct. That is a great challenge and a great takeaway for this episode. Yes, choose that one small habit, put it in play for 7 to 14 days, and don't add anything else. Because when that habit becomes automatic, then and only then will you add another, but not right away. You're going to do that one small habit for 14 days. That's the max, and get it into play. And then you talk to yourself about adding another.
And if you're feeling behind or like your motivation is low, you're totally normal. What matters most is what you put in place after motivation fades. Those systems will support you for the long run.
Correct, correct. Progress after 40 starts with stability and not pressure. And if you're tired of starting over, that's exactly where you need to be.
I think that's a great place to wrap this one up. Thanks so much for spending time with us. Any final thoughts, Keisha?
Yes, this is a great place to wrap up today's episode. And I'll do too. I want to thank everybody so much for spending time with us. And I always hope this conversation or this episode helped everyone to feel seen, encouraged, and it reminded everyone that sustainable weight loss after 40 is possible. I also want to make sure everyone knows that new episodes of Women Over 40 Losing Weight are released every Friday. So please be sure to follow the show so you never miss an episode. And if today's conversation resonated with you, you can learn more about my work and my book, The Wait Is Over, at amplehealthandwellness.com. Until next time, Jay and I will see you again. But for then or for now, give yourself grace, take care of your health, and please keep moving forward.
So, to everyone listening, take care and we'll catch you next time. Bye for now.
Yes, bye for now.